crossroadsirl.com.
Let's get to the content of what you had in that video you released, because there are also 15 House Republicans who are also veterans who released a video, including a retired 3-star Marine Corps General, Jack Bergman. Take a listen to this.
Troops, listen up. Any service member who refuses a lawful order is subject to court-martial for violating the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
We study what's lawful and what's not lawful, and the Democrats stunt insinuating that they're illegal or unconstitutional orders. It's downright dangerous.
It is corrosive. It is meant to weaken our country and weaken the military.
How do you respond to these allegations from your colleagues, fellow veterans, that what you have put out there is weakening and corrosive to the military?
Well, these unfortunately are some of Trump's core supporters that are rallying behind the president, and they know better. They know exactly the difference between lawful versus unlawful. We were very clear in the video that what we're talking about is unlawful orders. You have the president's spokesperson going into a press conference this past week and saying that we called for people to disobey lawful orders. They're simply lying because the truth is unacceptable to them.
So when you watch the video that they produced, and they're banking on you being stupid. They're banking on you being stupid, ignorant, and being partisan. All right, because whenever you see people speak like this so confidently, they believe that their base are either stupid, insane, unhinged, or just partisan. And I listened to it, and honestly, I couldn't believe that they could put out a video like that, encouraging servicemen to defy what they perceive as unlawful orders. And whenever they're asked, okay, so what do you think about this? None of them has come out to say what unlawful orders they've seen issued by the Trump administration or by President Trump himself. All right. So it is crazy to watch. It's frustrating, it's upsetting, but it's more of the same. Okay. He was asked a question and he's still saying these are Trump's core supporters. What did they say that was inaccurate? And what did you say that has facts backing it?
It's unacceptable. We wanted to start a conversation, and we did, about the dangerous rhetoric this president is using and the threats that he's made to use our military in an unlawful way.
Specifically what?
Well, send troops into Chicago, send troops into polling stations, kill terrorists' families, arrest and execute members of Congress.
He hasn't done any of those things. He hasn't sent troops to polling stations. He hasn't sent troops to execute. Anyway, this is going to be a very interesting thing to watch. Of course, Democrats are covering for their colleagues because they're all in on it. They wanted Trump to react. Trump reacted. They said, oh, look, he's trying to kill us. You know, he simply said, what you guys did is sedition, and usually by law is punishable by death. Oh, look, he's trying to kill us. These guys are unhinged, dishonest, or they're simply liars and actors, right? So choose your pick. Now, let me know in the chat, okay? Is encouraging the military to ignore Trump an act of sedition? All right. Now, if you don't know, Google it. Use ChatGPT. All right, but let me know what you think in the chat, because there are people who believe that encouraging people to disobey, encouraging servicemen, armed forces to disobey your commander-in-chief, as long as his last name is Trump, is a good thing. Wait until there's a major crisis and you need the commander-in-chief to issue orders and the chain of command to run the way it's meant to. I'm taking a course in the U.S. Constitution. Started it on Saturday, on Saturday. And it's fascinating to listen to the powers that are given to the commander-in-chief and how the checks and balances in Congress keep him from going overboard. And those guardrails are still holding today. What Democrats keep saying is that, the guardrails don't exist. They still do. And if you need to learn more about the Constitution, please go ahead and take the course, by Hillsdale College. Okay, it is amazing to watch, and it will help you kind of understand the entire thing that is being framed by the Democrat Party. Now, Goodlander, one of the suspects, we saw her in the video. She refuses to name a single illegal order because none exists.
What illegal orders are you urging troops to refuse, and what do you hope they take away from your message?
Alex, we love this country. We love our Constitution. It is our job as lawmakers, and especially in this moment, to be clear morally, to be clear legally, and simply and clearly stating what the law says, what the Uniform Code of Military Justice says. It's not a crime. It is not treason. It is not sedition. It is our job. And I think it's really important that we do our jobs in this moment.
All right, so did she answer the question? Like, listen to interview after interview of these people. They never do answer the question. They run around answering vaguely. This commander-in-chief, has threatened to. He never did. And yet you recorded a video. Now, it's fascinating to watch the reactions of people online about this. Fascinating. People who think that they did nothing wrong are the same people who cheered on when the Democrats were ranting about the fake insurrection of January 6th. It was fake. It wasn't won. But till today, they still cry about it, that it was an insurrection, the worst thing to happen to the United States since 9/11. All right, so it's unfortunate that that the United States is being made a fool of, not by President Trump, like many of them claim, but by these sitting Democrats. Now, here's Elisa Slotkin. Okay, now here she's going to be telling you exactly what happened, because she's asked a pointed question, and here's her answer.
So let's talk right now. Do you believe President Trump has issued any illegal orders?
To my knowledge, I am not aware of things that are illegal, but certainly there are some legal gymnastics that are going on with these Caribbean strikes and everything related to Venezuela.
Oh, nothing illegal, but you guys said that he was sending troops to attack American citizens. That was what the video was really about. But here she is saying, well, nothing illegal about the things we accused him of doing in the video. Oh, but Venezuela. In other words, you guys are protecting narco terrorists. Well done, Democrats. Well done. You guys continue to outdo yourselves. When I think you've not gone far enough, you prove me right. All right. Let me know in the chat, okay, why did Democrats lie about illegal orders if their own members, the same people who did the videos, admit that there were none, that none existed? Let me know in the chat. All right. There are lots of things to unpack from this entire debacle. Lots of things. But in the end, time is our friend. And Representative Byron Donalds basically gives his reaction in this video, where he basically shreds his colleagues for making such a video.
That's a bunch. My view is we're going to continue to do everything we can to protect the coastline of Florida. This is something where the people of our state, frankly, just don't want oil drilling off of Florida's coast, and so we're going to work with the administration to make sure we continue to protect Florida.
Are you comfortable with President Trump's comments about Democratic lawmakers saying that they have engaged in seditious behavior?
Stop. They have engaged in seditious behavior. That mess you just heard over there about not being intimidated, no, the intimidation came from them when they launched their stupid video that nobody asked for, that nobody was talking about, to try to get clicks and likes. That's actually a bigger problem that's going on in this building behind me. Everybody wants to be a star now. Everybody wants to be on social media. Everybody wants to be on Fox. Everybody wants to be on CNN.
And they're getting their wish. We've already played several videos of them making the rounds on media, getting makeup put on, and saying how they did nothing wrong. Okay, so they're getting their wish.
The president is correct to call it out for what it is, because for them, and I honor their service to the nation before they came to Capitol Hill, but for them to now go out and tell our troops and the members of our intelligence community that it's okay to disobey orders, that's obscene. They would never tolerate anything like that when Joe Biden was president, when Barack Obama was president, when Bill Clinton was president. They would have never tolerated anything like that. So now they're going to feign outrage because Donald Trump responded to their words that do yield to insurrection? Please.
But the president has been...
Stop. No. And this is where I'm going to push back. Because what they are doing is trying to throw literally a grenade into the room.
Exactly.
It goes off. And then they're going to claim outrage? They have no moral standing to claim outrage because they decided that they were going to be cute and put out a TikTok video trying to get likes, trying to demonstrate that they're tough enough to stand up to President Trump when Donald Trump is the commander-in-chief, not Mr. Crow, not Senator Slotkin. They are not the commander-in-chief. And like I said before, they would not tolerate any Republican launching any video like that when Barack Obama was president of the United States. You know it's true. I know it's true. Everybody knows it's true. But now they want to feign outrage and have everybody come and ask them how they feel. Man, stop. We're tired of the games and the charade. The American people are looking for real answers on energy, on immigration, on affordability, but they want to be cute. So, yeah.
Look, I've said it again and again. The Democrats should call their representatives to order. Did you vote for your representatives to simply go after Trump for 4 years and not fight for your health care, for immigrants not to take your jobs? Look, guys, again, something that people keep saying, elections have consequences. When you elect buffoons, this is what you get. You have communities in Chicago where schools were converted to shelters for immigrants, illegal immigrants. Now, what happens to those kids who no longer have a school to attend? Now, I don't know if they've eventually been moved off those schools, but these are the kinds of decisions that these blue cities make, disenfranchising the voters. And you know what? It baffles me that the voters keep voting them back. Now, stay tuned because the next story we're going to be covering is on election fraud. Because when you ask the question, why do these people keep getting reelected? It's very clear that there's a lot of fraud in the election system. Now, let's let Representative Byron Donalds complete his thoughts, and then we jump into the next story.
I'm not going to give them any standing about, well, how do they feel? That's BS. They knew what they were doing. They created a political stunt to get a response. And they didn't like the response.
In terms of what the president said, are you comfortable?
Look, I think when it comes to Florida, we've been clear in our state. We do not want drilling off of our coastline. And so we're going to work with the administration to still protect Florida's coastline.
So, sure. Are you comfortable with what the president said, suggesting that members of Congress should be put to death?
What?
No, but
did the president suggest that members of Congress should be put to death, or did he simply point out the fact that when you do things like they did with the video, it's called sedition, and the laws on the books for military personnel is that it is punishable by death. There's a long imprisonment for people who are civilians. And most of the people who were on that video were ex-military. If you watch that video, they trotted out their credentials. They knew exactly what they were doing before they put out the video.
The president also said that they should have to actually stand by. You have to investigate those words. What they're calling for is sedition. 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 Let me ask you a question. What are the penalties of sedition in the United States of America? What are they? The president's not calling for it, but they're the ones that started this foolishness. And I will grant you, this is a foolish political stunt created by people who are trying to get their name ID up, who are trying to demonstrate that somehow they're the standard bearers for our constitutional republic when their own words are in violation of our constitutional republic. You cannot have elected members. I don't care about your politics. This is not even a political deal anymore. You cannot have elected members tell our military men and women, tell the members of our intelligence community that you don't have to follow orders from the commander-in-chief. That is nuts. And as people who actually put the uniform on and serve this nation, they should know better. But they're playing politics. That's what's wrong.
Can I ask you about?
Yeah, so we're going to move on to the next story. All right. We've all talked about this. We've thought about it. If you've seen this story as it broke last week and over the weekend, it's been going on. We all know that this is it's outrageous. They should never have done it. If it was Obama, they would have essentially burned the whole country down because they're like, look, you guys are being racist or you guys are being partisan and this is it's outrageous. And then you would have had all the actors trot out to give their very, very fiery speeches. Now, let me know what you think in the chat, okay? Should Congress censure every Democrat who encouraged military rebellion? Let me know in the chat.